God is all-powerful and God hates evil, then here is a question that has quietly bothered honest believers for 2,000 years. Why is Satan still here? Why didn't God just destroy him in the garden on day one, before any of this could go wrong? Because think about it, one word from God and it's over. No serpent, no temptation, no fall, no cancer, no funerals, no war. So why didn't he? Stay with me because the answer to this question isn't just interesting. It quietly changes how you read the entire Bible and how you understand your own life. Let's go back to where it starts, to the Garden of Eden. The serpent shows up and he whispers to the woman. Did God really say? He twists it and he lies. And she takes the fruit and Adam takes it too. Now here is the moment. Evil has entered the world. God is standing at a fork in the road, holding infinite power. He could wipe the serpent out of existence in an instant. But he doesn't. Instead, he asks a question. Adam, where are you? Not because God couldn't find him, but because he was after something bigger than a quick execution. And to see what that was, we have to fix a mistake that almost everyone makes. Most people read Genesis and think the real problem was Satan, the tempter, the snake. Remove him and everything goes back to normal, right? But watch what happens if we do that. Imagine God had destroyed Satan that day. Poof, gone. Would Adam and Eve suddenly become innocent again? No, because removing the tempter doesn't remove the guilt of the tempted. The serpent tempted, but Genesis is painfully clear. They still chose. Nobody forced their hand. So even with Satan gone, humanity is still standing there, guilty, in front of a holy God. The problem was never just the snake outside the man. It was the sin now living inside the man. So God's great question was never, how do I destroy Satan? That would have been easy. His question was infinitely harder. How do I forgive guilty people without pretending their sin doesn't matter? Because here is what we forget. God is love, yes, but God is also perfectly just. A judge who shrugs and lets every crime slide isn't loving, he's corrupt. Real love doesn't ignore evil. It deals with it. It pays for it. So the whole Bible answers one question. How do I stay perfectly just and rescue people who deserve none of it? Hold that question, because the answer is already hidden 3 verses later. Instead of ending the serpent that day, God does something stranger. He makes a promise, spoken to the serpent but spoken for us. He will bruise your head and you will bruise his heel. One day someone will be born of the woman. The serpent will strike his heel, but that one will crush his head. Read that again. Before a single word of judgment falls on humanity, there is already a rescue plan. So the cross was never God's emergency backup plan. It was the plan from the first page. The delay wasn't God losing control. The delay was God making room. Now Jesus himself answers our exact question, and most people have never connected it. He told a story. A farmer plants good wheat in his field. But at night an enemy sneaks in and plants weeds all through the same field. They come up mixed together, wheat and weeds, and under the ground their roots grow into each other. The workers ask the farmer, should we rip the weeds out right now? No, lest you root up the wheat with them. Let both grow together until the harvest. Do you see it? That is the answer to why evil is still here. If God pulled up all evil today, he'd take everyone whose roots are still tangled up in it. The harvest is coming. Judgment is certain. But not yet, because not yet is the most merciful word in the universe if you're still in the field. And don't misread the delay as weakness, as if good and evil were 2 equal forces slugging it out. Open the book of Job. Satan wants to attack a righteous man, but he has to ask permission. All that he has is in your power. Only on himself don't stretch out your hand. The enemy is not free. He is on a leash and God is holding it. And then the cross. Jesus stripped the powers of darkness and shamed them openly. Satan's claim over anyone who belongs to God, canceled. He is a defeated enemy who has not yet been removed. Like a war already won at the top, while the news hasn't reached every corner of the field. We started by asking God, why didn't you judge Satan? But maybe that was never the real question. Maybe the real one is quieter and it's about you. Why didn't God judge me? Every day the judgment is delayed, someone hears the truth for the first time, and someone gets pulled free. I have no pleasure in the death of the wicked, but that the wicked turn from his way and live. The reason the story isn't over isn't that God is powerless. It's that God is patient. The same mercy holding back the harvest is the reason you are still here, still breathing, still able to turn. His patience is not the same as his approval. The Bible is just as clear that the harvest will come, and that one day evil faces a final, permanent end. Justice delayed is not justice denied. It's justice making room for mercy. He is patient with us, not wishing that anyone should perish. So the delay you have resented might be the most personal gift you have ever been given. It gave you time. Don't waste it. If this gave you something to sit with, leave one honest word in the comments. What would you change if today was the grace you had been given time for? And if you want to keep wrestling with the hard questions of faith, not the easy answers, subscribe.